Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to Pagan Goddess Tarot. And today I am doing a reading for the zodiac sign of Libra for December 2020. Okay, and I've got a few things to knock out of the way before we start. First of all, even though this is a zodiac reading, it is also a general collective reading, just a smaller portion. So again, take what resonates with you. Leave what doesn't. I'm sorry. These candles, I'm going to have to blow that out. It's scented, and I didn't realize it was scented, and it bothers my throat after a while. So I'm going to try and leave it on because I like to have the light. I love to have the candles burning when I'm doing this. Anyways, getting back to the matter at hand, it is still a general collective reading. It's just a smaller portion of the general collective. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And if in the future you feel like you need to come back and watch the video because it does start resonating, remember that can happen because what I'm telling you may not have happened yet. This is fortune telling. So keep that in mind, and you're more than welcome to come back to the site, the channel, and review any videos that I have posted there. I haven't started doing extendeds, and when I do, then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. If you are under 18 years old, sorry about the disclaimers and having to get all this stuff out of the way first, but all that legal stuff before we get to do the real thing is if you are under 18 years of age, exit left, just leave the site. I do not do readings for anybody under the age of 18 for personal reasons. If you are under 18, you shouldn't be watching tarot anyways. You should be living your life and gaining life experiences. And legally, there are cards here with full frontal nudity, and I am making that disclaimer right off the top. It is not sexual. It really doesn't have any sexual connotation. It just is. So, like I said, if you are under age 18, vamos. As for the readings, if you like them, please hit like, subscribe, and share. It really does help the channel. I mean, exponentially. It really helps the channel grow. And I do pre-shuffle my cards so that we don't have to spend 20 more minutes shuffling cards, as if the disclaimers aren't enough. Okay, so the first card that I'm pulling is from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck, and the card is Hawk Spirit, and it's telling you to let Spirit be your guide. Okay, whoops, excuse me. So, I use oracle cards because they're very powerful in their own right. But I also use them as reference points sometimes during the reading. I don't always do it, but sometimes I do. And it's very effective. I don't know how to explain it. You'll just have to see it, and it'll make sense when you watch it. Okay? So we have the Shield Maiden. And it's telling you to make plans and focus. All right, and let me see, what else have we got? One more for Libra. I'm sorry. One more for Libra, Spirit. And it's the that's another one that keeps popping up. The Shaolin Master, and it says to be graceful in movement and action. Okay. So, I use a 5-position spread. Sometimes it doesn't work out to 5 cards. And if you see a very long video, it's usually because I've had multiples show up for different positions. Like I said, it's a 5-card spread, and I've had 3 or 4 cards show up for each position in one reading. It's not normal, but it has happened. It is, as a matter of fact, it just happened in I think it was the Libra reading. It was so much for 15 minutes. So, okay, so the card positions are the past, the present, the future, the advice from Spirit, and the most probable outcome if you follow Spirit's advice. Okay? And the first card out is the Four of Swords. It's not necessarily a bad card. You see the sun's above him. He's hanging out on a cloud. It's not so much that he's in his mind, it's that he's resting. It's like a life review. In the Middle Ages, when knights would go into battle, well, actually, when they came out of battle and they survived the battle, they would go into their tombs and lay on their, I don't think they were called coffins then, they may have been, but more or less they laid on their own coffins. And they contemplated things. So like a life review, but a lot harder. Like, they were grateful. They were giving thanks because they survived the battle, for one. You know, they saw atrocities that other people don't normally see, and they have to align that somehow. You know, was this a just cause? What was I fighting? What happened? You know, did all these people die because of a just cause? You know, is this what I should do? You know, etc. Those kinds of things in life. I mean, and it was a very deep, deep thing. So that's your past. So it's resting and reflecting. Okay. And while it may not be as... Actually, it was a very good thing, because what they did was they immediately went to some place where they could rest, be alone, bring up those memories before they had time to pack them down, and become hardened by them, and miss blessings because they didn't heal it. You know, you can't put a Band-Aid over it. They just yank it up and here we go. Let's just deal with this and get it over with. Okay? So, the present, you have the shadow. Now, keep in mind, I am going to be clarifying these cards. The shadow can mean a myriad of things. First of all, you have lovers. They are lightly bound to each other. They feel bound to each other, or there's a strong bond between them. But they are not chained to each other. But it looks like they are. But they can easily slip those bonds right off and walk away at any time that they want to. These are sometimes extremely passionate relationships. And sometimes they reach into toxicity. And they can turn into codependent relationships. And the shadow is there to remind you not to let passion cloud your judgment. You know, to know when a situation's becoming toxic. Okay? Is it for your good? Is it for the good of all? So, the next card is the most, it's the norm, what your normal future would be. Okay, so it's telling you that you are ending a cycle, which makes sense because you're resting, reflecting, and you're looking at a relationship. Now, this doesn't have to be a lover's relationship, a love relationship, romantic relationship, whatever you want to call it. It can be, I mean, I would have had this if you have somebody in your family that's an addict, this is the relationship you have. It's not the lovers, but it is codependent. It's toxic. It's hard on both parties, and sometimes you just have to walk away and say no. It just is. You know, that's what we're talking about. Okay. Now, it can be a love relationship. Obviously, if you love your siblings, it is. It doesn't have to be a romantic love, I think is what I'm trying to say there. And it can also be, it doesn't have to be another person. You could be a workaholic. You could be somebody that has an addiction. You know, it can be anything like that. It's just telling you, but it's actually just a cautionary card to say that this can happen. But I'm looking at you rested and reflected, and now you are looking at the how, if this was a toxic relationship, and if you're moving, because it's jump, death, transformation, and rebirths to starting a new cycle. So I'm saying that you have probably looked at this relationship and determined what it is and how you need to proceed. If you need to heal anything, if you need counseling, if you need to have somebody counsel you on how to restore your life, your belongings, or whatever. Okay, and Spirit's advice is the Two of Wands. Now, in this deck, in most decks, the Two of Wands is making plans, okay, for the future. And then the Three of Wands would be your ships coming in. In this particular deck, she's holding the golden, I'm going to say the golden egg. It's a sphere, technically, but... And she wants to create something with it. And she has her wand in her hand. But she's built herself a tower and a business, and she's kind of trapped by what she's already built. This is tantamount to owning a home that you always wanted, and then you realize, you know, the upkeep, you don't actually get to enjoy the home. Or, you know, maybe that fixer-upper is a little more than you thought it would be. Okay? But she looks like she's made it. She's done everything. It's almost, she's come to the end of this cycle. She has built all that she can build here. And the one thing she didn't build was a door to leave, because she never probably thought she would have to. But now she wants to create something new. And now she's starting to feel trapped. But in this deck, because it's Celtic, all the fire signs have their own little dragons. They come at birth, I'm assuming, because they grow together. I don't know how to explain it, but it just works. And if you see, and this is also about trust, which is a deeper meaning than your regular cards. So in this card, you see the dragon has scaled the tower. And he's sitting there in that turret, and he's like, hi, I'm over here. Excuse me, I have your new wand. Because you need new energy to create what you're thinking about with that egg. Are you ready to go? Are you ready to ride? I'm hearing, are you ready to ride? Let's ride. Let's ride. Okay, and now these two have been together probably since they were both born. And because all the fire signs in all the wands in this particular deck has their own dragon. So this dragon is going to teach her to trust, because to get out of the predicament she's in, she's going to have to put that sphere, egg, whatever you want to call it, in her cloak in a very safe position. She's going to have to lay down the wand that she has, and she's going to have to jump off that tower. And she's got to trust that that dragon is going to catch her when she falls. So, and that's a lot of trust. But these two have been together since birth, so they have that kind of trust. So that's Spirit's advice. And that's the river of life. I don't know if you can see it in this turret, but that's the river of life. And she's ready to expand. She's ready to do something. She's creative. I mean, the wands are creative anyways. It's a creative, dynamic energy. If you've ever known a fire sign, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. We go 100 miles an hour. If you tell a Sagittarius they can't do it, hell yeah. Well, no. We're going to show you we can do it. And we're going to show you how easy it was to do it. There's no such thing as impossible. What are you talking about? Okay. So, that is Spirit's advice. Spirit's advice is to consider your circumstances, decide what you want to do. But if you are stifled and you want to do something creative, if you have an idea, you want to build a business, whatever it is, let's ride. Okay? And the most probable outcome is going to be, if you take the Spirit's advice, it's going to be the Nine of Wands. Because if you're resting and reflecting, if you're having this card where you're looking at doing something new, you're looking at this as like it's been toxic or it's becoming toxic. You know, having a house and being like that, sometimes if you're a creative free spirit, that weighs you down. It's toxic. It may be toxic to you where it may be somebody else's dream. Okay, so you're ready to end that cycle. So if you pick this up, you are going to be the wounded warrior. You probably already are the wounded warrior. Okay? So never fear. I am. Okay. But the bottom of the deck shows somebody that's very creative, that has built something on their own. And these people are here to commission, I'm going to say this is a sculptor in this position, or a mason. And these rays are called Alwyn, and that spirit. That means this is blessed. And this is something that this person has mastered. And they are going to make their abundance with this. So, let's clarify some cards. Okay, why the Four Swords? Why the Four Swords for Libra? Why the Four Swords for Libra? Because you are the wounded warrior. You've been through a lot, and you're ready to do something for you. Creative, dynamic. That can be anything. Oh yeah, because you had it rough. You had a rough battle. And that's why you're resting and reflecting. And resting and reflecting is a good energy. You're not in a swords energy where you're in mental anguish or anything. You're reflecting. You're taking a life review before you move forward, because you're Libra and you're balanced. Sagittarius is we just gonna run. I'm going for it. I don't care. Yeah, their balance is, yeah, we don't have that. I mean, some might, but I don't. I'll just be very clear with that. So, the next cup out is the Eight of Cups. You have options, okay? And where you're at may not be where you want to be. And I see you looking at the moon, and although the moon card's not out, it is facing your fears. And it looks like you're walking out the door of an empty house. And I just had this, and I did this in a personal reading for somebody. I don't do personal reads through the channel. But it's like you're taking that last look. Like, you know you're never going to be here again. You're never going to see this again. It's very poignant if you've ever experienced this. It's when the cycle ends and you have loving memories. And it's not that you're looking back in regret. It's just almost like you're saying goodbye. But you know that I saw, when I sold my house, it was like, you know, I took that last walk through it. And, you know, I had so many awesome memories. Some bad memories, good memories, bad memories, or whatever you want to say. But they were memories. They were life. They were my life. And it was poignant. It was really poignant, you know, when I left, that I would never, ever walk. That wouldn't be my bedroom anymore. I would never walk down that hall. I would never walk into my kitchen and make a pot of coffee. I would never cook in there again. I would never live there again. It's kind of poignant. And it was good for me because I was ending a cycle and it was time to go. But, you know, it was still poignant. Okay? So this card in the present, it's telling you, this is called the sneaky card. It can be a myriad of things. Do be aware that somebody could be working and not in your best interest. In this particular card, this could be somebody that thinks they're rescuing the books. They could be somebody that's stealing the books. You just don't know. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these options. Use your discernment very clearly, because this is the devil card that's covering it. So you may have somebody that's not working in your favor. You could have somebody that's actually a thief. But there's something to that. You will know. You will know what that devil means to you. I won't have to explain it to you. There's too many of you. But if that energy touches you, you know. Now, the future card, you're changing this cycle. The Wheel of Fortune is moving in your favor, because you did progress and you did do healing, or you wouldn't be ending the cycle. You'd be stuck in it. Okay? And I think when we get to this point, when we're here, where we're at this Eight of Swords, okay, it's telling you to make your plans and focus. Okay, let Spirit be your guide. You will know. Spirit's going to tell you. And it's also telling you to be graceful in movement and action. Okay, so let's see what else for the cycle change. Again, use your intuition. It is telling you to, Hawk Spirit is telling you to let Spirit be your guide. Okay, you're going to know. And if you're graceful in movement, you will know. There is no doubt about it. You will see, if you'll be able to see right through somebody like this. But you have to open yourself up to receive those gifts. When you get those little things in your mind saying, I didn't leave that door unlocked. Why is that window open? Whatever it is, who did this? You just have this, wait a minute. This is a wait a minute. And it's your inner knowing. And that's your intuition. And that's Spirit talking to you. Okay, so when you get to this point where you're ready to move on, you've built this tower, but you know it's time and you're ready to go, Spirit has you. Spirit sent your dragon there with a new wand to manifest something new. It's telling you that egg, you have to make your plans and focus, and then you're going to have to move on, and you're going to have to be graceful in movement and action. This is not the first time she's flown on this dragon. It's just she's never jumped off a she's just never jumped off a building and trusted the dragon to catch her. They take off together. Does that make sense? So you have to be the queen. You have to cut those things out in your life that don't serve you. Sorry, I didn't mean to bounce cards. I'm getting all focused. I'm actually picking up on the queen's energy. She's dynamic. She's not necessarily, she's wise. She's been through so much. You see that owl? She's very wise. She's not wielding that sword. She's actually being quite peaceful at the moment, but those are dragons on the top of her throne. And anybody that can have one finger holding that sword, because swords are heavy, she can balance that like that. Yeah, she knows how to wield that sword. She's no cupcake when it comes to that. So I think what it's telling you is this is the Hierophant. So this is something structured. This is learning something new. So it looks like you do. Maybe you're learning it from the egg. Maybe you're learning it from the universe. Maybe you're doing formal training. This could be structured education. This could be higher education. This could be doing YouTube videos. It's usually structure. It's called the Pope card in other decks. It's also balancing your spiritual with your material world. Okay? And I have the Six of Pentacles for this. And that's the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands. So your wounded warrior, they're looking at something from the past. Okay, and I'm going to pull another clarifier before we go on with that. Oh yeah, something from the past. So even though you're guarded, there is something coming to you from your past. And it could be your wish fulfillment. And that again, that's where it's telling, let spirit be your guide. But you go forward with your plans. You make your plans and you focus on that. You be graceful in movement and actions. Because if it's for you, spirit will bring it to you. Unless you close yourself off to it. Okay? And this creative spirit here, it looks like if this is the bottom of the deck. Remember, this is the master. This is the master that's creating something that's a blessed. It's very blessed. And the card we have coming out is the Queen of Wands, who would be extremely creative, passionate, dynamic. She's intelligent. She's fiery. She's passionate. She's all of those things. And what's coming in beside her is the King of Cups. And that's love. Straight up. That's love. And at the bottom of this card, or not this card, the deck, is justice. So spirit will bring you what is yours. Okay? So let's do this again. I'm going to ask for a couple of messages from the Archangel Oracle cards. Not too many, because these reads tonight have been so long. It's comfort. Okay? And it's Archangel Azrael. I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. Okay? And your past was brutal, but the past is gone. You know? And once you heal, you have to move on. But you have to follow your intuition. You have to know what you want to do. You may not know, but spirit will guide you. But I think you do know, because the next card is Brilliant Idea. And this is Archangel Uriel. And it says, yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take action to bring it into fruition. And that is on top of the Two of Wands, where it's telling you to jump. I think it's kind of tantamount, even though it's the Two of Wands. It's similar. The energy that I'm feeling is similar to that of the Fool and the Journey card. And it's telling you to think about whatever this is. This is a brilliant idea. So you need to be analytical about it, and you need to educate yourself about it, and you need to be balanced in spirit and the earthly plane. And if you're worried about your relationship, or if this is about a relationship, the next card is Relationship Harmony. And this is Archangel Raguel. And we angels are opening up the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. Okay? So, I think it was a very good reading. I hope you got it. I hope you like it. If you do like these videos, please hit like, subscribe, and share once again, because it does help the channel grow exponentially. And this is a new channel. But it also, you can push the little bell icon, and you can get notified whenever I do future readings. Okay? So I really hope you enjoyed the reading, and I hope you have a great evening. And thank you for watching.